Good morning and welcome to Newsfirst Primetime Sunrise.
Hello there, a very good morning and welcome to Newsfirst Primetime Sunrise with me, Shane Silva. Let's start off with a look at your headlines. Operations at the Randanigala and Ranthambhe power plants restored. Education Ministry requests parents who have not been successful in securing a school for their children to speak to the Zonal Education Director. And the US says Bashar al-Assad could have no place in a transition government as he has lost any legitimacy to lead the country. On to your stories in detail now. The Ministry of Education requests those parents who have been unable to admit their children into grade 1 to speak to the Zonal Education Director of their area. Secretary to the Ministry, Anuradha Disanayake, said that at present matters are being finalized for grade 1 admissions.
The Secretary to the Ministry added that it was reported that a group of students were still languishing without a school. Disanayake added that the main reason for these children not to be admitted to schools were due to their parents not having sufficient points for admissions, even though the children had adequate marks. The Secretary to the Education Ministry added that arrangements can be made for these students to be admitted to another school in the area in the event they are unable to secure admission to the school of their choice.
The Sri Lanka Teachers Union filed a complaint with the Sri Lanka Human Rights Commission with regards to the admissions process for students who have passed the grade 5 scholarship examination.
When they were admitting students who passed the scholarship examination, 5 schools were not informed about the first round of grading. Instead, they announced the minimum grade to the school. Because they did not announce the grading system, it has caused us many problems. A number of schools have reduced the cut-off marks once again, even after the cut-off marks were announced. That is why we notified the Human Rights Commission stating that the minimum cut-off marks needs to be revised.
समस्त අවම ලකුණු මට්ටම් නැවත සංශෝධනය කළ යුතුයි.
The Ministry of National Languages and Social Integration has commenced a program that would enable a more efficient manner when translating emails. The ministry has said that this program is carried out by the Department of Official Languages. We now cross over live to the Commissioner of the Department of Official Languages, JDC Jayasinghe, via Live Digi. Good morning, Mr. Jayasinghe.
Good morning.
Now, what are the methods that are being used to translate languages and for emails?
Up to now, we have used this month. We have started that in computerized system. We will get the documents in email and we'll do the translation and send back in email.
Now, Mr. Jayasinghe, is there any payment that is necessary to obtain this service?
Not from the ministries and the department. But of course, banks and
not from the ministries and the departments, but of course the banks and the other relevant institutions.
All right. Now, this service is currently only available to government and semi-government institutions.
We charge for according to the public administration circular.
Just to recap, Mr. Jayasinghe, now this service is currently only available to government and semi-government institutions. Is there any way for private institutions to obtain this service as well?
Private institutions, of course, just we don't have a facility, but going to introduce it.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Mr. Jayasinghe. The Colombo District Conference of the All Island Samurdhi Development and Agricultural Research Assistant Officers Union was held in Battaramulla yesterday.
The function was held under the auspices of the Economic Development Minister Basil Rajapaksa. It must be specially noted that winning the second time around is more difficult than the first time. When I came to Gampa, there was no problem. Now it is not known how it will be the second time. This is because there are many things that can be looked into. When we contested the first time, anything can be put forward. A leadership free of corruption, a leadership free of alcoholism. These are some of the things we can put forward. But you cannot put forward these things the second time. People will not accept it.
මතින් තොර නායකත්වය අරවා මේවා ඔක්කොම ගන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි දෙවනි පාර ඒව ගන්න බෑ. ගැව්වත් මිනිස්සු පිළිගන්නේ නැහැ.
The Italian ambassador to Sri Lanka, Paprio Appa, engaged in a tour of the Mullaitivu area yesterday. The teachers' hostel of the Puddukudu Irippu Central College was opened under the auspices of the Italian ambassador. Northwestern monsoonal winds will strengthen at times over the island and neighbouring sea areas. Meanwhile, showers will occur at several places in the northern, eastern and Uva provinces. Let's take a look. Before moving on to sports news, we take a look back at one of the stories that made the headlines this morning. Now, operations at the Randanigala and Rantave power plants have been restored after repair work at the two power plants concluded. We now have with us the media spokesperson and Deputy General Manager Senajit Disanayaka to give us more details.
One turbine at the Randanigala power plant has been repaired, while repair works of the Rantabe power plant has fully completed. There is no issue to the national grid at this point because we have adequate water supply as well for the generation of electricity. At present, the repair work at the Noracholi and Kalnitissa power plants are carried out at the moment, and we anticipate completing this work in 3 weeks' time.
He also added that the Lakshapana and Castle power plants have come to a halt.
Maintenance and repair work have been carried out on the water tunnel that carries water to the Lakshapana power plant. It was planned to carry out this repair and maintenance work during the inter-monsoon season when the water levels are low. The water level at the Mausakali reservoir has reduced to approximately 15% of its original capacity. There is no problem with the two power plants, but due to the repair work carried out in the water tunnel of the new Lakshapana power plant, power generation of both the power plants have been stopped.
At the close of play, Sri Lanka dropped down to the 5th place in the overall medals tally in the Lucifornia Games held in Goa.
The Lucifornia Games is held this year for the 3rd consecutive year. 12 countries are participating in this year's games. Yesterday, Sri Lanka was placed second in the overall medals tally with a total of 3 silver medals and a bronze. However, according to the latest medal tally, India is in the lead with a total of 8 medals and Portugal in second place. Macau is currently ranked third with 1 silver and 2 bronze medals.
Well, there you go. That's a look at this edition of Primetime Sunrise. It was a pleasure having you with us and hope you have a great day ahead.
Hotline 0114 896 896. www.newsfirst.lk. Feedback at newsfirst.lk.